fucking live. Alright, so the Third Horseman, locust swarms from Africa all the way to India. This is the fourth generation of the locust swarms over there. They're 8,000 times larger than the previous swarms, which is about the size of a metropolis, of a large city. And they can demolish a whole farm, a large farm full of everything in 30 seconds upon descending on it. So the UN is warned of an impending food crisis. I'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, like, share, subscribe to this video, to my channel. And if you have a few extra spare change, extra dollars, throw my way. I'll leave a link to my PayPal. You can donate to my coffee fund. Keep these videos going. You know, I need some coffee. Get me talking. But so basically, what's going on with the climate? The climate now. I've warned about food crisis ever since I've been uploading videos, and it's been one of the main reasons why I started doing commentary on YouTube, was to warn people about what's coming. You know, I figured I'd jump on the bandwagon with all the rest of these guys that I watch on YouTube. You know, I'll leave a link to Adapt 2030 and possibly a Grand Solar Minimum channel, but the Ice Age Farmer. I'll leave a link to Ice Age Farmer and Adapt 2030 latest videos, and the article about the UN warning about the food crisis. But we've been heading towards a food crisis even before the COVID-19 hit, and that shut down production lines, you know, globally. So with production lines shut down, it put a kink in the system that didn't need exasperating, because there was already a kink in the system they had been trying to cover up with the false AG reports and stuff like that, giving false numbers on the AG reports, and nobody really pays attention to that and back checks it. So, except for a few select people, and really this information doesn't get out to the population like it needs to be. The mainstream news won't cover it because, of course, they are waiting for the big crisis to hit so they can report on it. You know, if they did something to stop it, they wouldn't have anything to report on. But it seems funny that it's going to kill us all. We're all going to starve to death. So there's nobody going to be watching the news reports. So, they need to start reporting on this big time. What you can do, and I say this over and over, like I have a garden. I have 2 gardens, and fruit trees. So fruit and nut trees. And so what you can do is, if you have any little bit of land or any space in your house that you can get some LED grow lights, is the best things. A multi-spectrum LED grow light array, or halogen bulbs. Not halogen. What is it? Any grow light will work in your house, and if it gets a little bit of sunlight from an outside window, is great too. But you can grow microgreens in your house for salads and stuff like that. That way you don't have to buy salad stuff at the store. You have fresh greens at the house. You can grow tomatoes inside. You can grow even potatoes inside if you want. You can grow just about anything you want inside, except for trees and large plants like corn, and okra needs to be outside. But invest in a tiller if you have property. all these big properties with the big yards and shit I see around my area, and they're not utilizing it for cultivation, is just and these are the people that are going to be wanting food and standing in line for food, and hell, we got to go to the food bank. We're so poor. We live on disability and retirement check here at my house. That's why I'm always asking for donations, because I don't have any money to go around. I barely got any money a month for my coffee and tobacco, and the rest of that I got to borrow from my son, and he's about broke right now too. He just got a new car, and they cut his hours at the store, and the railroad job he works isn't working right now because of the COVID, and but they'll soon start back up. He'll get some money in, but yeah, invest in a tiller. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's my tiller right there. I got a big one. I don't think you can see it. This phone doesn't pick up in the dark too well. I'm out here in my garage smoking a cigarette. But hold on a second. Yeah, the UN came out warning of this global food crisis that's going to hit us any day now. So, I mean, you need to be prepared. If you haven't planted already, it's almost too late to plant unless you're growing inside. And you can grow inside all year long, microgreens and stuff. What we do is we make a hoop house, a cover with plastic and a frame, and we grow lettuce all year long. And you can even grow green beans like that all year long if you want to. Green beans will kind of handle a little bit of cold weather, but lettuce and stuff like lettuce will do real well out in the hoop house during the wintertime. But the UN is warning of a food crisis, and they should have been warning of this months and months and months ago, like last year this time, because all the signs were there, climate-wise, with the flooding that took place the year before, and all the grain that was lost here in the United States, and all the flooding that's taking place right now in the United States and globally. And then you got the locust swarm on top of that stretches from Africa to India. These locust swarms do. So their food supply is fucked. We're going to see a population reduction from this food crisis. Fuck the virus. The virus isn't killing hardly anybody compared to what this food crisis is going to kill. It's going to kill millions. Millions of people are going to starve to death. Whole fucking areas of countries are going to starve to death because of this. And wars are going to break out. Some major conflict is just right around the corner to grab up the last bits of farmable land that are going to be left due to the climate, due to and the locusts, and the flooding and everything. So the only answer is to grow your own food at your house. I understand you can't animal husbandry in the city, but if you live outside the city and you've got land, get yourself some pigs or chickens, so you have eggs, some protein. If you have room, get you a cow or two, a couple cows and a bull. That way they produce a calf every year or so. And then you take your old cows to the slaughterhouse once they get a little old, and you got to recycle through your inventory of cattle. But my grandpa had a small farm here in Bentonville. Before that, he was a dairyman up in Joplin. He had a dairy farm where my mom and her sister and brothers lived, um, until the milk crisis came in, where they started making you homogenize your milk before you sold it. And, people would stop buying fresh milk, and they stopped picking up fresh milk. Like that, the big milk producers came in and put everybody out of business, So they moved down here to Bentonville, had a little five acre farm, and we had cows, had about 9, 10 cows, and chickens, a couple pigs, and so every once in a while we have a horse, that the boys would let me ride. Damn buck took off on me one day down out of the gate and down the street to this mare, this black mare, uh, down the street. He was horny, and he didn't care who was on his back. He was going. Bucked me off. That was about the last time I ever rode that horse. I was only 8 years old. But yeah, I grew up around animals, and I know how to ride a horse. I know how to corral cattle. I know how to chase a pig down and catch him and in the mud, and go collect. Stay away from the roosters to collect your eggs and everything like that. So it's good to know. It's good to know. I'm sure it'll help me out later in the long run. Um, After we probably sell this house, if shit hits the fan and it becomes impossible to live in town, sell this place, some unwitting fool, and move out to the country and have a farm again. Live off the land a little bit, not have to come into town so much. Have your own meat and vegetables, and it really helps. It really does. We didn't ever grow any gardens at the farm, but we always grew a garden here at the house, a small garden to supplement us. Just to supplement um, what you get at the grocery store. It saves a whole lot of money. A small garden. So don't think putting in time and effort isn't worth it into a garden. I know it's a lot of hard work, and a lot of you lazy motherfuckers don't want to do it, but the simple facts are the food isn't going to be in the stores very much longer. So you're going to have to do something, or you are going to starve to death. Simple facts. And they're already pushing fake meat in the food pantries and stuff. Half the meat you get out of the food pantries bad, then the other half is half fake meat and half real meat. And so you got to throw out almost half the meat you get from the food pantry because it's expired. And then they been starting to give pre-made salads and shit out from the store that are fucking bad, shit like that. Fucking stupid. Uh, of course, most food pantries you go to are state state and federal USDA stuff. Comes from the food banks. That they have to buy their food from the food banks. They get a grant, and then they buy the food from the food banks, and then they give it away. But this pantry up by my house, one of these pantries, uh, gets leftover shit from the stores, and that's what we get a lot. We get a lot of it. You get a lot more that way, but a lot of it's bad. You can't eat it. You got to throw it out. So there's that. The subsidies is the word I was looking for. The subsidies from the state and the county are what these food pantries buy from the food banks. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to make this video. I seen BP Earthwatch's video, Three Horsemen, where he goes into detail about the locust swarms. I'll leave that link. I'll leave a link. Zero Hedge got an article about the UN. Food crisis looming. It's coming around the corner. And as always, have a fucking excellent morning. This is Mr. Mission Control. Peace out, motherfuckers.